This video is about setting intentions. So it's basically like how our beliefs create our reality. And so it's just, to give an example, I feel like it's easy to go through life kind of just living your life, but not necessarily always setting an intention for certain things. So, like the other day, I went to get my hair done with a new hairstylist. And, I've been getting my hair highlighted for ages, right? Many years. So, I've had, all kinds of experiences with my hair, and so I was definitely really nervous because it was a new person and she didn't know me, and I was worried that it wouldn't come out right. And so I sat there and I started to imagine like the worst scenario. And then I'm sitting there as she's working on my hair, and I realized, why don't I just try to intend that everything will work out and I'll be super excited and happy with the result. And it's such like a simple thing to just shift your mindset, I guess, or your expectation. But I think just like setting an intention is enough to shift the energy in your reality. And I think it changes like the outcome of what you're thinking about. And so for me, exactly what I intended is what happened. And there's so many instances in the past where I've gone to a new hairstylist, I've imagined the worst, even though, she was recommended to me or whatever. And I'm not happy with it because I was imagining that I wouldn't be happy. I was worrying about it, or expecting that. And so it's so important, I think, to just like set an intention, or at least like be aware of like where your thoughts are. Because if it's something that's important to you, it could be small or it could be big, like whatever it is. But if you're thinking about it, just like be aware of like where your thoughts are. Like, are your thoughts like kind of moving towards like what you want, or are they kind of moving towards like the worst scenario, like whatever you're afraid of, like your worst fear or whatever. And like it's such a simple thing, and you can do it like I did in just like a split second. Just catch yourself and be like, oh wait, like, okay, what do I want to intend? And then you just kind of start like imagining that just briefly. I just kind of pictured myself being like, oh wow, like, I'm so happy. This is great. Like, pleasantly surprised, like, and it really helps. Like, even something as simple as like, let's say you're running late for work. I've done this so many times where I imagine specifically that it's okay. Like when I was working in finance and I was running late, maybe for a meeting, I would imagine that the other person was also running late, so it wasn't a big deal. Or, I would imagine that by some miracle I showed up just on time, even though, looking at the clock and, I'm on my way, but I'm thinking there's no way I'll be there on time, So it's kind of almost like a way of like sort of I guess you could say like manipulating your reality, but um or taking control a little bit more. Um I would say more just like having a say, because it's so easy to kind of get caught up in things and feel like life is happening to you. And I don't know, it just helps you feel just like more in control when you're able to set these intentions for how you want things to go. Um, and, not everything, you may not need to set an intention for everything, but, certain things that you feel like are important to you. I think I've seen that it makes a noticeable difference, like when I actually remember to do it. So, and then also it's important to just like kind of feel like, let's say you're intending something. Um, I think it's important to kind of believe in that a little bit. Um, and sort of like feel into it. Like, for instance, like the example of running late. So, like, when I intended that it would be okay, however it worked out, um, I felt the feeling of like relief, which I would expect to feel like if that happened. Um, and then, like with the other example with my hair, like I felt the feeling of like, you know, excitement and happiness that like it came out the way I wanted it to. Um, so yeah, so I think it's just, putting your mindset in the right place and just like being super aware of like where your thoughts are. So that's it for today.